The first year does not ask for your permission. It does not wait for you to be ready or rested or certain you are doing it right. It simply happens. Right now, today, in the feeding and the rocking and the nap that fell apart, and the moment you picked them up at 3 a.m. when everything in you wanted to stay horizontal. Right now, something irreversible is occurring inside your baby's skull. 1 million new neural connections every second. That is not a metaphor. That is a measured, documented biological fact. In the first few years of life, the human brain builds itself faster than it ever will again, faster than adolescence, faster than any other developmental window that exists. And what builds it? What literally determines which connections survive and which ones get pruned away forever is experience. Specifically, your baby's daily experience. The ordinary, unremarkable Tuesday morning kind of experience. You don't need a curriculum. You don't need the right toys. You don't need to have read the right books. What the science says is far simpler and far more profound than any of that. What builds a baby's brain is you, the way you show up repeatedly, in the small moments that feel like nothing. Here are 10 of those moments. 10 habits so ordinary you might not recognize them as habits at all, and what they are quietly, permanently building inside your baby's mind. The way you talk while you work. You are making breakfast. You are narrating nothing important. Okay, let's get the eggs. These are eggs. They are cold. We are going to crack them. Listen to that sound. You are not performing. You are not doing a lesson. You are just filling the space with language, the way people do when they think no one important is listening. Your baby is listening. Here is what the science says. Researchers studying language development have found that the sheer volume of words a baby hears in the first years of life predicts, with remarkable accuracy, their vocabulary, their reading ability, and their academic performance years later. Not the quality of the words, not the sophistication, the volume, the quantity of ordinary language that flows around them while they are just there, being present in the kitchen with you. What this means is not that you need to perform. It is not a pressure. It is the opposite of pressure. The most natural thing you already do, talk while you move through your day, is one of the most powerful brain-building tools that exists. The narration of ordinary life. The eggs are cold. The water is running. We are going outside now. Every sentence is a deposit. Every word is a neural connection being proposed and tested and strengthened in a brain that is furiously, hungrily, trying to build itself. This is real, and it is already happening. The way you respond when they make a sound. Your baby babbles. It is objectively not a conversation. It is vowels and consonants in no particular order, directed at no particular thing. And you respond anyway. You look up, you mirror the sound back, you say something, you wait, they babble again. Back and forth. A conversation about nothing, conducted in a language that doesn't exist yet. The Center on the Developing Child at Harvard University has a name for this. They call it serve and return, and they have identified it as one of the most essential experiences in shaping the architecture of the developing brain. When a baby babbles and an adult responds, with eye contact, with words, with a sound, neural connections are built and strengthened in the child's brain that form the foundation of communication, social skills, and emotional regulation. Not metaphorically, literally. Neuroimaging. Studies have shown that children who experienced more of these back and forth conversational exchanges showed greater activation in Broca's area, the region of the brain responsible for language processing, compared to children who simply heard a wider variety of words without the response element. What this means is this. It is not enough to talk at your baby. The magic is in the exchange, the pause after you speak, the wait. The moment you treat their babble as if it is a real contribution to a real conversation, because to their developing brain, it is. Every time you return their serve, you are reinforcing a neural circuit that tells them, your voice matters. Your communication produces a response. The world is listening. That is not a small thing to encode in a nervous system at the very beginning of a life. The consistency of your routine. There is a version of routine that is rigid and anxious and punishing when it breaks. That is not what the science is describing. What the research describes is something gentler and more profound, the predictability of ordinary sequence. The way that bath comes before bed, the way you sing the same song, The way the morning has a shape your baby has begun to recognize. Doing certain things in the same order, at roughly the same time, helps strengthen brain connections and builds what developmental researchers describe as a sense of expectation and safety. A nervous system that has learned the world is organized, that what comes next can be anticipated, that the environment is not chaos. This matters more than it sounds. A brain that is constantly braced for unpredictability cannot fully commit its resources to learning, but a brain held inside a predictable, consistent world can relax into the work of development. It can notice things. It can take risks. It can practice. What this means is that the bedtime routine you do half asleep in the same order for the 400th time, it is not boring. Not to your baby, not to their brain. It is proof that the world is knowable. It is the original experience of, I understand what is happening, and I am safe. That understanding will live in their nervous system long after they have forgotten every single moment of it. The way you make eye contact, during feeding, 12 times a day, maybe more. The bottle or the breast, the face looking down. You are tired. You are scrolling. You are thinking about something else entirely. And sometimes, not always, just sometimes, you look down and you catch their eyes and you hold it. What is happening in that moment has been studied and documented in ways that are quietly extraordinary. Eye contact between a caregiver and an infant activates synchronized brainwave patterns between the two of them, a phenomenon researchers call neural coupling. The baby's brain begins to synchronize with the caregiver's. This is not a metaphor for connection. It is the literal, measurable, neurological mechanism of connection, and research has linked the quality of this early, relational attunement to the volume of the hippocampus at 6 months, the structure responsible for memory and emotional regulation, as well as to functional connectivity between the hippocampus and areas important for emotional functioning in later life. What this means is that the moments you look into your baby's eyes during feeding are not sentimental. They are not the soft, optional parts of caregiving. They are moments of biological transmission. Something is moving between you. Not just milk, not just comfort. Architecture. The literal structure of a brain being shaped by the experience of being looked at by someone who loves them with attention. The way you name what they are feeling. Your baby is crying and you don't know exactly why. And you say out loud as you pick them up, you're frustrated. Something is wrong and you can't tell me what. That is so hard. You are not talking to yourself. Or rather, you are, but you are also doing something that neuroscience has only recently begun to understand at a structural level, naming an emotion, even an emotion that belongs to someone who cannot yet understand the word, activates the prefrontal cortex. It begins to build the bridge between feeling and language, between internal experience and external expression, between being overwhelmed and being able to say, "This is what I am." Studies in emotional regulation consistently show that children who were spoken to about their inner states in infancy develop stronger capacities for emotional regulation in childhood, not because they remembered the conversations. They won't. But because their brains were rehearsing, thousands of times, in the ordinary moments of their days, the act of noticing feeling, naming feeling, staying present with feeling rather than being consumed by it. What this means is that you saying, "You're tired, aren't you?" to a 3-month-old who cannot understand a single word, is building the emotional architecture they will live inside for the rest of their life. The capacity to tolerate difficulty, the capacity to name what is happening inside them, the capacity to not be destroyed by hard feelings. That capacity starts here, in these words, in this ordinary moment, right now, the way you let them look at things. Your baby has stopped and is staring at something, a shadow on the wall, a pattern on the ceiling, a cup on the counter. They are not doing anything. They are just looking. And the impulse, the very human, understandable impulse, is to redirect them, engage them, move on. But consider pausing, just for a moment, just long enough to follow their gaze. This is called joint attention, and it is one of the most significant cognitive milestones in early development. When you follow a baby's gaze, when you look at what they are looking at, and then perhaps name it, and then return to looking at them, You are participating in a process that builds the foundation of shared experience, symbolic thinking, and eventually language itself. Babies who experience more joint attention interactions in the first year demonstrate stronger language development, higher cognitive scores, and better social outcomes in early childhood. What this means is that the moments of apparent stillness, when your baby seems to be doing nothing at all, just staring at a shadow, are moments of intense internal activity, processing, pattern recognition. The beginning of understanding that the world is made of distinct, nameable things. And when you join them in that looking, even briefly, you are telling them, what you are paying attention to is worth paying attention to. I see what you see. We are noticing this world together. That is a lesson that will shape how they move through every room they ever enter. The way you move their body. Tummy time. The stretching and the reaching and the rolling and the carrying in different positions. The laying on the floor and the time in the carrier, and the way you hold them facing outward so they can see the room. This is not just physical development, this is brain development, and the connection between the two is more intimate than most people realize. Movement is not separate from cognition. In the developing infant, they are the same process. When a baby reaches for something and grasps it, neural circuits connecting the motor cortex, the cerebellum, and the visual system fire simultaneously and begin to wire together. When a baby learns to lift their head during tummy time, they are not just building neck muscles. They are building spatial awareness, proprioception, and the beginnings of the body knowledge that will eventually allow them to walk, and then run, and then navigate a complex world with confidence. What this means is that floor time, the unglamorous, often resisted floor time, is not a developmental checkbox. It is a crucible. Every moment your baby struggles and succeeds in moving their body is a moment of neural integration, of brain regions learning to coordinate and cooperate. They are not just getting stronger, they are becoming more connected to themselves. The way you sing. It does not matter if you are a good singer. Your baby has no framework for that judgment yet. What they have is a nervous system that is acutely tuned, from before birth, from inside the womb, to the rhythm and melody and emotional contour of the human voice. Researchers have found that fetuses respond to voices and sound as early as 25 to 26 weeks of gestation. Babies can distinguish their mother's voice and the general rhythm of their native language before they are born. What singing does to the infant brain is layered and significant. It builds auditory cortex development. It entrains the nervous system to rhythm and pattern, the underlying structure of language and music and mathematics alike. It regulates the stress response, lowering cortisol and activating the parasympathetic nervous system. And it creates something harder to measure, but no less real. An associative memory of safety and connection built around the specific sound of your voice. What this means is that the lullaby you sing badly, in the dark, for the 100th night in a row, is doing more than helping them sleep. It is being written into the oldest, deepest layers of their brain. The sound of you singing to them is becoming part of the architecture of safety. It will live in their nervous system long after they have grown and left and forgotten the melody entirely. Not as a memory they can name, but as a knowing, a resonance, a sense of what it feels like to be held by something that loves them. The way you give them space to struggle. The toy is just out of reach. Your baby is reaching, straining, frustrated, and every instinct you have says to hand it to them. The most loving thing, the immediate, obvious, compassionate thing, is to close the gap. But developmental research has something to say about the moments you resist that impulse. Not every moment, not as a philosophy of deliberate withholding, but occasionally, enough when a baby struggles towards something and reaches it, when the effort resolves into success, a cascade of neurochemical events occurs that reinforces not just the physical action, but the capacity to persist, to tolerate frustration, to believe that effort produces outcomes. This is the very earliest formation of what researchers call self-efficacy, the belief that one's own actions can influence the world. And the research on early self-efficacy is unambiguous. Children who develop it early show better cognitive outcomes, more resilience in the face of difficulty, and greater motivation to learn in formal educational settings. What this means is that the moment you pause, the moment you hold back and let them try, is not a moment of withholding love. It is one of the most profound expressions of it. You are not failing to help them. You are building the part of them that will be able to help themselves. The part that will try again. The part that will not assume the world will close every gap for them. That part is being built right now in the reaching. In the not yet. The way you come back after you leave the room. You leave. You come back. It is the smallest, most ordinary thing. You leave for a moment. To get something. To answer something. To exist briefly outside the radius of their awareness. And you come back. And they look up, and you are there. You leave. You come back, over and over, hundreds of times, in the course of an ordinary week. What this simple sequence is building is the foundation of what developmental psychology calls attachment security, and the implications of attachment security, its tentacles into every area of a person's life, are among the most well-documented findings in the entire history of human psychology. Securely attached children explore more freely because they have a safe base to return to. They regulate emotion more effectively because they have internalized the experience of a reliable other. They enter relationships in adulthood with a baseline assumption of trustworthiness. They recover from stress more efficiently. They show lower levels of anxiety and depression across the lifespan. And the mechanism for all of that, the seed of all of it, is the 10,000 times in the first year of life that you left and came back. That you were absent and then present. That the world, in its most important form, remained reliable. What this means is this: you are not just keeping them safe in the room. Every return teaches them something unreachable by words. The world does not abandon you when it disappears from view. The people who love you come back. The loss is temporary. The return is real. That knowing will be in them forever. You will not remember most of this. That is also true. Not just for them, for you. The nights and the mornings and the particular way the light fell at 6 a.m. in the kitchen while you made sounds back at them over your coffee. You will not remember most of it. But it will be in them. In the architecture that is being constructed right now. In the ordinary hours of your ordinary days. The science is clear. The most powerful brain building does not happen in enrichment classes. It does not require equipment or curriculum or the perfect parenting philosophy. It happens in the repetition of small things, done with love, by someone your baby already knows. It happens in the language you use while you work, in the eye contact during feeding, in the return after the leaving, in the song you sing badly in the dark. It is happening right now, and it is enough.